Zach Wilkinson. I work for GreenLid Design, where I'm an engineer and a surveyor. So for the engineering, I've got a bachelor's degree from Tennessee Tech, which is required, and then to become licensed, it also requires passing two separate tests. One's called the FE, which is the Fundamentals of Engineering. It's an 8-hour test, and then also the Professional Engineering test, which is another 8-hour test. Requires 4 years of experience under a licensed engineer before you can take that. For the surveying, there's a couple different career paths on the surveying side to get licensed. The one that I used, I was able to use my engineering degree along with experience that I had in the field, along with taking a fundamentals of surveying and a professional surveying test. Well, one thing I like about my job is there really isn't a typical day, but some days I'm in the field where I'm looking at projects that are being built, or when I'm surveying, I'm in the field doing the survey work. But also I do spend a fair amount of time indoors as well, processing that data, doing calculations, doing the design. I spend a lot of time just coordinating and working with other people, whether it be architects, other engineers that are doing another part of the project. So there's a lot of coordination and communication. Just spend a lot of time sharing each other's information. Well, the engineering profession, I guess, when I went into college, I guess I was pretty good at math, and so that's where my dad always kind of pushed me. He said, "You like building and designing things," and I wanted a profession I wouldn't be inside all the time because I'm a big outdoors guy. And so that's what kind of led me into the surveying side of it, but also why I went into civil engineering versus some of the other branches of engineering, because most of those projects are outdoors, and while you spend a lot of time inside, the actual work that you're designing is taking place outdoors, so it gives you an excuse to go out in the field and see what you drew, see what it looks like in the actual world. Rewarding is definitely seeing the fruits of your hard effort, along with a lot of other people's, seeing that design actually get built and finished up, and seeing the final product. The challenging things is when maybe that building or that road wasn't built maybe the way you designed it or you intended, and then there's also a lot of design work that gets scrapped, like, well, we like this idea better, so we're gonna go with this way. And so the having to do things that more than once sometimes can be frustrating, but sometimes it also results in a lot better design. Mathematics is the main one. I'm going through school. The mathematics classes is what weeds out the majority of people in engineering. So, I mean, I'm by far no just exceptional mathematician, but trying to take as challenging classes in that as you can, and really just having a well-rounded education from that in the sciences. And you got to be able to, I think the thing that a lot of engineers struggle with the most is communication, and so that I mean, the classic engineer is the introverted guy that walks around like this. The ones that are really successful are the ones that communicate well with other people. Part of surveying is you're tracking down old property boundaries, and so you're tracking the work of a surveyor that might have established this boundary 200 years ago, and he said, all right, the boundary of this property is from this tree to this rock to this, and when you find that actual rock or that actual tree that when he saw it was 12 inches in diameter, now it's like a 40-inch diameter tree. To me, that's one of the really cool things. I guess it's kind of a history-related thing, but tracing the footsteps of somebody 200 years later and actually finding some of those things that they referenced, that's been cool to me.